Hello, I'm here. Hope you're all doing well. Um, this is the Thursday midweek live stream. I've been doing it at 3 o'clock, but we have something going on, so I'm going to do it early today and move on from there. Hope my camera is seeing okay. It looks a little cloudy. I don't know if there's any issues, but I've got the Ethernet cable hooked up. Everything's working. Seems to be doing fine. And hope everybody is doing well. Got my USA shirt on today. Gonna have the 4th of July weekend. And hopefully that all goes well as it can, I suppose. Paul. Hey, Paul. And 68 Sang is here. Leonard. Well, we're going to the lake. I'll just say that we're going to the lake, and we were actually going to leave earlier, but my wife had said, "Hey, are you going to do your live stream?" And I thought, well, I can get it in. I may as well. And oops, I don't know. I have the wrong hat on. There we go. Now it's more official, right? So I decided. She said, well, "You better do your live stream." I said, "Okay." So I decided to go ahead and do that while she's packing up food, supplies, and everything. So that's the plan. And who else? I'm not sure. I've got a question here. I don't know if that's a real question. Shy Boy Gonzalez having trouble putting my shifter on the steering column. Not sure how that. I'm not sure about that one. I'm just never seen a shifter on a Mustang steering column, but I guess it's possible. Yes, Scott, happy 4th to all. I hope we all have a good weekend and things go smooth. I got Sammy Lisa Smith checking in. Good. That's very good. In fact, I was talking earlier today to a friend of mine. Hey, Denny's from Kentucky. Happy 4th to you as well. I had a friend stop by earlier today. He's wanting me to modify a high lift jack, that he uses on his Jeep, the big high lift jacks. And he's wanting to shorten it up some. So I'm going to have to cut that down a little bit for him. And we were talking about things, and he noticed on the other channel, I just posted a video for the Ethernet cable, basically the ones I made for the shop. And he's like, "You're going to put cable companies out of business if you show people how to do that themselves." So, well, maybe so, maybe not. But anyway, he stopped by today and dropped off that jack. So that'll be something I'll have to cut down. Shouldn't be that hard to do. I may use that diamond cutoff wheel I have from Bad Dog Tools just to give a nice clean cut. Thank you, Ron. Glad you're here. Tanner, any ideas on how to do the underside of a Stang? Well, what do you mean by that? Undercoat? Prep for paint? I'm not exactly what's your question about, because there's a lot of things when you say that. You can put one on a rotisserie, blast it, clean it, epoxy it. There's a lot of variables, so probably need to define that just a little bit so we know exactly what you're asking. Let's see who else we have on the side here. But if you are asking about, I don't know, prepping it, if you don't have a rotisserie, it's gonna be a hard time getting underneath it to get everything cleaned off, and depending what is on it. Now, some people use a heat gun and a scraper to scrape off any tar and junk that's been put on over the years. Some people will use pressure washer and degreasers and all kinds of different things to try to get stuff loose. Wire brush, all those implements that we can use that are available. So, in the case like for me, I have a lift, so I can put the thing up on the lift and clean everything up from there. Just makes it a lot easier, obviously. Yeah, Paul's saying he did it on a lift as well. And So, otherwise, I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for an answer. um, I know, like the Brooklyn Pony, I'm going to end up putting epoxy on it and then spraying it with lizard skin. So that's going to be the process. But I'm not going to do that until I have all the suspension taken care of and, everything, brake lines and all that stuff where it belongs, so that I can do it, mount all the parts back on, and get it on the ground. So, and speaking of which, I know that I've got 11 people watching. I'm sure people are busy, and this normal live stream. I try to get people from Europe, on here. Sometimes I have people from Australia show up, but so that's why 2 o'clock may or may not be a good time. But I know people want to see these, so that's why I'm here. I did want to point out, though, I have a box of stuff here, and by stuff, let me get that out of the way. By stuff, I mean spindles, and actually it sits this way. These are the replacement spindles for the ones that are on a Brooklyn Pony, because initially it was a 2-inch drop, and we're going back with the stock height spindles. And I know in the conversations I had about this earlier, it was brought up about the hey Donald, hey Faraway, or Faraway. I never know how to say that. But it was brought up with using these spindles, which are the regular height, if it's going to affect the steering and all that sort of thing. And I've compared them, and one thing I've noticed, you have holes in the spindle, and the upper and lower holes, if I remember correctly, that is a mounting point. There's a plate that sits on the face here. I think that's the mounting point for that face, and that's going to be the same on any of them. And these holes, which are in the center, I believe are those are for the steering arm. And on the other car, the other configuration, these holes are offset. So I think it's going to be just fine to put these on. Now, of course, I'll have to degrease these and put some paint on them and everything and get them on there, but I have them. So that may, or I'm not sure which one, if this will be the next video or not, swapping these back over. But they did send those, and of course a hardware kit. So that's all here. Otherwise, I've been straightening up some of the stuff in the shop. I know it doesn't look like it very much. I still have the engine crate, stuff like that sitting over there. But I've been trying to organize some things and get stuff out of the way, simply because, the benches are kind of a catch-all. Like this bench I'm sitting at right here, it has paperwork and safety glasses and battery chargers and all kinds of stuff sitting on it, plus camera equipment. And I was getting rid of some stuff, and I put all the battery chargers up here off to the side so that, they're out of the way and kind of in a contained or set area to where I don't have to worry about those. And that helps free up some other space and just little things like that. So let's see, Paul, what color will the Brooklyn Pony be? It's going to be the original color, which is the silver blue. That's what came on it. That's what he wants back on it. So that's going to be the color, silver blue. And what kind of paint for those spindles? Yeah, they're going to be rattle can. I've been using that chassis paint that I actually picked up from Harbor Freight, and I used it on, I think I used it on the Jade Mustang as well, on the suspension parts, and I've used it on a variety of things, and it seems to have held up very well. I guess you could powder coat those if you wanted to, but they're not going to get powder coated. Just a little too much involved with all the casting, So they'll get painted and they'll be fine. That's what I think that's what I did with the other ones. I painted those as well. So yeah, it's going to be a nice color. Okay, so you know, I don't know for sure. No, it is not epoxy base. It is just a paint. But I've used it before, and I've had good luck with it. Okay, so Shy Boy Gonzalez. I'm not sure what he asked a question earlier about putting a shifter on a steering column. I don't know what that is. Yeah, if anybody wants to be on the live stream, they can. And all I have to do, you send me an email to joedaddysgarage@gmail.com, and I'll send you an invite, and we can talk about things and see how things are going. I've been trying to get a buddy of mine to get on here, but he's tied up and can't seem to get on the broadcast. But I know he's talking also about doing the live streams himself for his channel. So maybe we can get him on here at some point. In fact, he just sent me a message, says, "Hey, sorry I've been tied up. See you're live now. Have a good session." Well, I hope so. Yeah, there's not a whole lot has gone on this week since I've got the Impala out of here. I just wanted to clean up things and get ready to go on finishing out the transmissions mock-up and cross member and all that sort of thing on the Brooklyn Pony. Let's see, Tanner. I have a 69 convertible. For the convertible assembly, would you take it all apart in multiple pieces, sandblast, and prime, or something different? That's a tough question. That is a really tough question. It depends on condition. I'm going to say that first, whether it's worth saving or not. I know they do sell those. You can buy them. They're not cheap, but that's going to be your biggest, conflict. Is it heavily pitted? Is it going to stay structurally sound if you take it all apart? Yeah, hold on. Let me see. I got Reese wanting to get on the live stream. I'm going to send him a link, but we're going to continue on here for just a second. Honestly, I would rather take the whole thing apart, though, just to make sure there's nothing in between or nothing causing problems. But I can't picture in my mind, the configuration, whether is it bolted together or are they press pins? I can't remember how it's, I know the convertible, the pony is up on the lift, so I can't look at it. So I can't say for sure how those are assembled. But I would prefer to take everything apart, index, where everything goes, so you're comfortable putting it back together to know what shape it's in. So that's how I look at it. With the Brooklyn Pony, I said early on, I don't want to mess with that convertible top. I don't want to mess with that at all. And that currently that's not the plan for me to mess with. I got it to move, but it was really frozen bad, and it to be functional, it probably needs to come all the way apart. So hope that helps. I don't know. Danny, have you tried any Southern polyurethane products? I have not. I've heard about them. I'm not sure if you've mentioned them before, but I haven't had the chance to try them yet. And so, Paul, are there going to be any more viewers projects? Yes, there will be. I have one on, I have to piece it together yet. I still have to do the video editing. I plan to, well, if we weren't going to Lake, I would be working on that, but I'm not going to have much time. I may try to get it done on Sunday and get it up Sunday night, but it's on another Cougar, and that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a real good one. Let's see. Guido, that Steel It paint covers nice and thick. Stainless particles. I painted my drums and front spindles with it. Try it one day. It's awesome stuff. It's not cheap, but it looks powder coated. Okay. Thank you, Guido. I'll give you a bell for that. I'll give it a shot. All right. So I have Reese up in New York, and we're going to let him show us what he's working on. There he is. Hey, Reese.
Hello. Do you know how to
How's it
flip
going?
the camera around? Good. How are you?
I think we've talked about this before with this function, and I don't remember. There's something I don't remember. Somebody said how to do it, but I can't remember how it's done. So you got the Porsche out.
Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So this is the 74 911 Targa. The brakes were seized on it. They were like rusted right to the rotors. And so I jacked it up and took the calipers off and then wheeled it out of that garage door. And then we had to flip it around, and we're going to put it in that side and then put the Mustang in that side.
Okay.
And so I've been letting it air out. It sat here for 2 days outside, and this is like the first time I've seen it outside since before my dad died, which was 2014. So
Okay.
and it looks a lot smaller than I thought it was. A lot cooler too. And
yeah, they're cool cars.
yeah, so I've been sitting in it. People like driving by, they always look at it for
Sure.
the past 2 days. And here's the interior. We've been cleaning it out, and then every morning I wipe all the dew off because it has this big rust bubble right here, and I don't want water getting in that or over here, right there.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of rust that it's kind of hidden. Like this is
Yeah.
all soft.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so this is pretty bad.
That's not easy to fix either.
Yeah.
So
but I got the gas tank, and then I took the brake calipers off, and I can show you the engine. It's got the big whale tail too.
Yeah.
So I think it's a 3.2 flat 6 air cooled. It's missing the air filter right now, but it's in the garage. I don't know how well you can see.
I can see it. Yeah.
Okay. And there we go. So I made another YouTube video on how to remove the brake calipers. I'm mainly doing it just for me to look back like years later.
Sure.
And see what I was doing as a kid. But I ended up getting views on it, so I was like, oh, okay. And so if you would let me, could I do a viewer's project on this?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah. Film that, but the Mustang will be here soon, like next week, hopefully.
Now,
And yep.
Now I know you asked me. You asked me before about cameras. Are you looking at getting a better camera setup?
I have to get a computer, so I think I'm gonna get a computer to like transfer all the videos first, and then I'll worry about like camera quality and everything.
Okay.
So I want to learn how to edit good, and then I'll worry about that later.
Yep. Yeah, you got to get it all working together. That's for sure.
Yeah, so I can't go into the garage or else it'll cut out. But because the last time I was on here, really bad. So.
Well, I
just thought this was kind of cool.
I'm gonna let you keep looking at it. I'm gonna pull myself off the screen for a minute and see if it shows up any larger. So hold on just a second. Yeah, it didn't. I was hoping it would be a bigger screen, but it's not. So, that's okay.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said. You cut out.
No, I was trying to. I pulled myself off the video so that we could see if it would have a bigger bigger screen, but it's fine the way it is. It's fine.
All right, so I took the roof off, and so that's sitting in the garage because it's leather, and I didn't know if it was gonna rain, and so then I have this big tent over just in case it suddenly starts to rain because it's been
Sure.
raining here a lot, and it's been covered in a car cover and then 2 tarps when it's left out, and so yeah, I just started working on this like for boredom. So I just didn't have anything to do, so I was like, oh, why not pull it out? And then that led to the Mustang being brought here quicker because now we can put this in the other garage slot.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so I don't know what.
I'm gonna say, so what, you don't know what the plans are yet, whether you're gonna keep the Porsche or not?
Right now we're gonna keep both.
Okay.
Hopefully, I don't know when we're gonna start buying parts for the Porsche, but I think the Mustang would be done first because the Porsche parts are a ton more expensive,
Right.
and
That's true.
the body too. The body, it needs paint and a ton of body, so. But it's complete, like every part is there. So
That's the plus. That's a plus because,
yeah,
you know, you start working on stuff, you want to have all the parts. That's for sure.
yeah. There's not as many videos on these as Mustangs either, so it's nice to have there. And so yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. So you said
Okay,
you
so
did make
I don't
you made
what
you did make a video or a couple videos, yeah.
yeah, I deleted one because I just didn't think that editing was good and it didn't come out the way I liked it. But then
Okay.
I posted another one on the and so yeah, that's up right now. That was I think posted today, so
Well, let me show you something else since we're talking. Um, and I think there's ways, you've got a little phone holder. Do you have any of these? The little spring holded phone holder. You can like.
oh, that's I don't have that, but I just got a tripod. I found one, but it needs that little piece.
Okay, because they sell these on Amazon pretty cheap. Um, but if you're making your videos, you could clamp your phone in to make sure it's stationary so you don't get a lot of shake. You want to try to keep it as stable as you can.
Yeah, I had my mom film the brake one because I just haven't ordered that little like phone clip that mounts to a tripod.
Okay.
So that I need like 2 pieces. There's one to like mount it, like you know how like a camera would screw in, and then so there's another plate that I need too. So I'll have
Well,
to order those.
yeah, I have a bunch of stuff. I even have like a little tripod right here that it has the threaded post on it that you can, set it up, move it around. So I have that. I have all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff.
My tripod is like tall as me, so I just
Oh,
got that. I found it in my house. So
yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you got the Porsche outside. That's cool.
wait, you cut out. I couldn't hear.
I said I'm glad you got the Porsche outside. Okay. I think you froze on me. I'm going to pull Reese off for a second. Oh, there he is. Yeah, you froze for a second.
Oh, my mom's watching on her phone.
Okay.
Well, and you can hear me now, right?
I can hear you.
Okay, Mom, can you turn that off? So then I have these pictures. Well, so that's my dad. That's in our driveway, and that's my mom.
Okay.
And then that's my dad and his dad.
Oh, wow.
And the car was in New York City, abandoned, and so that's somewhere in Queens,
Okay.
and then that's right in my driveway in Albany,
Okay.
and so it was in Queens, New York, and so then they didn't get it started. And Dad's grandpa told him to get down here and buy it because they didn't know that you have to have the seatbelt in the thing, and they thought it was like something else wrong with like electrics, and like there was a lot more wrong with it, but they just couldn't get it started. And so then he bought it and got it painted and all the body work done, and so that's how it's here right now. So it's kind of
Cool.
cool story. It
Yeah.
was just abandoned in a parking garage.
Really?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, yeah. I have a binder full of pictures that I put together
Okay.
too.
Well, if you do a viewers project video, try to put all those together, or else, or if you can, um, again, keep a very steady camera and film, but you could send me those pictures, digital copies or whatever, and I can try to put those into the video.
Okay, yeah. And I can like kind of print it to get it. It's not like terrible, and then you probably have like better software and skills than me, so you can make it like good.
I'll work with what I get.
So yeah, I'll save the pictures then for the video. Or
Okay. Sounds good.
okay,
All right.
all right. I'll leave. Thank
Okay.
you.
Well, it was nice seeing you again. Nice talking to you.
Bye.
All right. We'll see you. All right. That was cool. That was cool to see that project. Reese showed us that a while ago with it being in the garage, and he told us a story about him and his dad and the Mustang and all that stuff. And, 14-year-old kid dragging a car out, pulling the calipers, pulling the gas tank, trying to get things running. That's pretty cool. I'm happy for him, and I'm really hoping it all goes well, honestly. I keep seeing this line. I don't know what's causing this line. Earlier, maybe I had my light positioned in such a way that it was causing a cloud, but now I'm seeing this line. I don't know where that's coming from, if it's the lighting overhead or what it is, but anyway, we'll have to just kind of go work around that. So Billy's here. Let's see. Paul, I don't know what the support is for vintage Porsche parts, but I would say there's a good following of them. So I'm good. I'm going to say there's parts available. Guido, he's worked on German cars for 20 plus years. So Guido probably knows what all needs to happen there. What editing program? I use Wondershare Filmora. That's the company. And I've talked about it before. It's you buy it, and it's a lifetime purchase from what they tell me, that you buy the program and then they update it. So really you can do a Google search, Wondershare / Filmora. And what they try to get you to do is buy, like, it comes loaded with all kinds of stuff. Like if you watch my videos and you see the transitions I do, or maybe a spinning clock or kind of a fade blur or something along those lines, that'll come with it. There are other things you can do with titles and music. A lot of that all comes with it. And then they try to get you to upgrade stuff, which I've never upgraded anything. I've just been using the same stuff. Now they have their own upgrades or updates, I should say, where they improve the programming or whatever. So that has been frequent. And then beyond that, I also will get music from YouTube. There is they have an audio library that you can download music from. And so I can easily manage that and put it into the Wondershare editing program. And then I can pull that music out. Now, some of the music on YouTube, some of it is totally royalty free. You can just use it. And there's other segments where you have to do annotations where you say you have to put in a description or something, this music by so and so, but then you can use it. So you just have to give them a credit for that, I guess. Otherwise, I've been using that software. Well, if you go back and if you were to look at my older videos where it has like a, usually it would start with like a black screen and then maybe have some letter, some title just come up, like fade in and fade out or something. Those were with an old program that they don't make anymore. So once that faded away, I had to upgrade, and that's where I come up with the Wondershare stuff. But anyway, here's a question from Truck One LT, or Truck First Lieutenant, maybe. Hey Barry, do you know where I could find measurements for the strut brackets for a 65 Mustang Fastback? Are you talking about the strut, the panhard bars, or the strut bars that go from the front to the lower control arms? If that's what you're referring to. I don't have somewhere I can point and say, go look for this measurement. Typically what I've done is if I've had somebody ask me a question like that, I try to measure it out myself and send them the measurements. So I might be able to do that for you, but I don't know. But it's, I'm not gonna matter if it's a fastback or a coupe or convertible, it's all the same. And I believe it's even the same between, 65 to, it's probably the same 65 to 68, I would think. I don't think there's any different, maybe further up, but I'm saying at least those numbers. So I'm sure it's out there and somebody has it available, but anyway, somebody's got the measurements, but I don't have a direct reference, sorry. So, okay, we got Greg's Workshop checking in, and Greg is visiting us from Australia, and he's did one of the viewers projects way back. I say way back, earlier this year with his Ford Cortina, and that was pretty cool. And I know Greg's been working on a forge on his YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked that out, that's pretty cool. He's home building his own forge, and along with other things that he's doing as well. Has a great fab shop in where he lives, and really cool stuff. So let me see what else we have on the side. I was just noticing I got another email. Let me see. Hold on a second. Oh, cool. I'm going to try to upload or download this picture, because when I was talking about, let me see if I can save this. Hold on a second. Sorry. Anyway, when I was talking earlier about the, oh, there it goes. The next viewers project, it's going to be a 67. I believe it's a 67 Cougar, if I remember correctly. And yeah, 67. So I'm going to try to pull that up. And let me see if I can get that on here. Because he'd sent me some pictures of it, or a picture of it. Here we go. And let me see. There it is. Okay. So that's going to be the next viewer's project car. And like I said, I still have to edit the video, get it all put together. But I like the story. It's pretty cool. He sold the car and then got it back 43 years later, I think is what he told me, which is just just amazing to me. If you get that opportunity to get a hold of a car you had 43 years prior. Let's see. Shy Boy, thanks for your videos. Very helped me work on my Project 69 Chevy C10. Thank you for that. Let's see. We have Alice Perales. I'm going to say Perales. Do you know what is the most common leaks on a 1979 El Camino? I've taken it to 3 shops, and they don't know what is leaking. Well, the first question I have is, you don't know what the fluid is? Like, is it oil or antifreeze? Have they diagnosed it as to what? That's the first step. Which fluid are is it losing? That's the first step, and then we can maybe go from there and try to find some answers. But let me know what that fluid is first, if you know. So I wanted to point something else out too. Well, a couple things. I don't know if you have found Iron Man yet. So I always try to push Iron Man somewhere into the shop, and then everybody has to go look for him, try to find him. But I also want to point out something else. If you haven't noticed, if you see that right there, that is the end of an aircraft wing, and that has been kicked around our house for 30 years. I made that 30 years ago, and that is a wood and dope, or they call it dope and fabric. Basically, when I was going to AP school, I had to make a wing as part of the testing process to prove that I knew how to operate, work with materials, and that is made from fabrics, actually mimic a wing, and then covered with the fabric, and it has in the top it has a little opening for a light. So anyway, I've decided to put that on the wall, and it's actually on a hinge so that I can pivot it, and you can look at both sides because there's some other stuff on the other side that is kind of important. But I had another picture hanging there before, but anyway, I just wanted to point that out. So Alice is saying that the fluid is red. So if it's red, your choices typically are transmission fluid or power steering fluid. Now, are you having to add power steering fluid, or are you having to add transmission fluid? Is it so much that you are, noticeably adding material? But those are going to be your 2 choices. The 79 El Camino, that's going to have power steering, more than likely, I would say, and it's going to have a pump, pressure line, return line, transmission lines. Now you could have, it's unlikely you've got a failed transmission line, but you could have, you could have leaks in a variety of places, from the transmission pan to the rear seal where the drive shaft goes in. It would also help if you knew, it would help if you could say where you park the car, if you could pinpoint roughly where that fluid is coming out, if it's in front of the door, behind the door, is it in the middle of the car, to the side of the car? That helps a lot when you try to figure stuff like that out. So a little more information, we can try to give you an answer. Danny, I sold my first car when I was 14. It was a 1966 Mustang convertible. My dad and I worked on this before I turned 16. Good memories. That's cool. I'll give you a bell for having that car. Of course, I don't know how old you are, but I'll assume it's been a while. Let's see, Sammy, are you the Iron Man today? I don't see it yet. Well, he's out there. He's definitely out there. Okay. All right. So Alice, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. Now, is it, when you say middle of the car, is that looking front to back and it's in the middle, or is it looking front to rear and it's in the middle? Or you got 2 middles. So we're going to try to narrow this down. without actually seeing the car or the fluid. um, yeah, it definitely helps to see the fluid. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to give her some pointers as I'm going through. We got Jerry checking in. Marshall, I always like to think any leak on a car is just sweat from all those horses. I'll give you a bell for that. All right, so Danny, 57, and you've had this car, let's see, when you were 14. 14, wow. So you're right in that same wheelhouse as the guy with the Cougar. But his story is different. His car left him and came back after 43 years. So, okay. So towards the back. All right. So typically what I'm going to look at I'm going to assume transmission. Normally you wouldn't see a leak from power steering. Is it, and like Guido says, is the transmission acting funny? Is it shifting weird? Is it struggling to move? Little things like that. To me, you've only got so many options. I know I had problems at one point with, what was it? It was a vacuum canister on a TH350 that was leaking. I had problems with that. Then you could also, really where the drive shaft goes in, there should be a seal on the end of that. Those can fail, and even that drive shaft, can wear it out. So that could be part of the problem. If it has a ton of miles on it, the drive shaft itself could have wear on the yoke or the spline shaft that goes into the transmission. That could be just enough to get fluid out. There's a variety of things. But it sounds like it's going to be a transmission something. And you only, another thing you could do, I don't know where you had it taken or whatever, but if they sprayed it down with a cleaner, so that they could get all the grease and junk off of it, let it dry, take it for a ride around a block and see, get some witness of where the fluid is coming from. That's also something that can be done. So I know it's tough to answer, but I know it's just tough to answer. I'm sorry. Joseph Bowers, what center link is used for the Borgeson auto steering box on a 68 Mustang? Well, I put a Borgeson kit in my Mustang, in my 68, and I used the factory because it was a manual steering, and I converted it to power steering. So if you go back and look at the Jade videos, go back to the Jade playlist, I did that conversion, and I used the standard drag link. So hopefully that helps you, but there's just nothing to it. Once I transferred it over from, I used the Pitman arm off of the steering box, the manual box. I put that on the power box, and then the drag link or center link folded right up. So no issues there. Danny, you paid $100 for a 66 convertible. I'll give you a bell for that. Just for having a good VIN number on it. Let's see. Sammy Lexi Smith. Some people put in power steering pump. Not a good idea, though. Some people put in power steering pump. If that's referring to the Alice's car, some people put in power steering pump. Not a good idea, though. Not sure what that means. Sorry. Alice, I would really like to find a shop that can fix old cars. These guys just keep taking my money and not fix anything. Yeah, it's unfortunate that it seems like people that have been around a while and know how to work on this stuff or try to work on this stuff, seems like finding a repair shop that is dedicated to that is very hard. Most of these places, they don't know how to do much beyond swapping out parts, their diagnosis has to be a computer. They don't. It's hard for them to analyze things unless they have a book or computer telling them what to look for. It's unfortunately, I'm sorry about that, but I'm not sure where you live, but that's, I don't know what your resources are for finding somebody who can, look at it. Now you might, if there's any local car shows, you might go talk to some of those guys. And if there's somebody there with an old 79 Malibu, any kind of Chevy in that era, and you can just start talking to them and say, hey, I have some questions. Can you give me some pointers or advice? Maybe they can help you out. Because sometimes even, San Antonio. All right. So sometimes, like I do work for my friends all the time, and it could be doing brake jobs or whatever, variety of things. And I try to diagnose problems for them. And, if you're talking to somebody who's at a car show they may have their own little shop at their home, then they may be able to help you out in some way. I don't know. But that may be a resource you could go to as well and see what happens. So I don't know if there's, of course, car shows are kind of skewed right now. Anyway, let's see. Danny, I have a copy of frame dimensions for 65 Mustang if I can have the person email. Well, that was, who was that up earlier? Was asking about that. It was Terry, or Truck First Lieutenant is what I'm going to say. Truck 1 LT. So Truck 1 LT, Danny has a copy of the frame dimensions for 65 Mustang. If you would want to share your email, you can post it down here at the bottom in the comments, and Danny can send you a copy of that, or send it through email. If you want to share your email, that's fine. If not, I understand, but I'll leave that up to you at this point. I was just oh, hold on a second. I'll have to come back. So that's up to you. Yeah, Alice. I'm sorry. I really am. But it's not uncommon that people struggle with it. Okay, so did you share an email? Did I miss that? Okay, I'm not sure if you posted that there or not. But let Danny know, and we'll go from there. Otherwise, again, this isn't going to be a great big long live stream today. I'm going to stop in about 10 minutes. I've just got to finish help my wife pack up the van and head to the lake. We've got to have that time off. We got to take time off, enjoy life, and not be on the go all the time. But like I said, I talked earlier, I'm going to be putting these spindles into the Brooklyn Pony, and also doing the transmission, which is over there somewhere in the box, and be getting that fit into the car along with the cross members from California Pony Cars. Those cross members that came in from Summit, get those in place, and I think that's the game plan at this point in time. I also wanted to mention something else. Now, whenever I did the video for the Impala, okay, let's see. Well, it's not showing up. You may have to. I don't see your email, Truck. I don't see your email. What you may need to do is just kind of type it out, because I don't know why it's not there. It should be showing up, and it may be restricted because the way this program is set up. If you want, let me think how I could do this. I don't know why it's not coming up. So if you have something like truckwinlt@gmail.com or something like that, I don't know what you use, but if you type it out to where it's maybe not so obvious that it's an email address, maybe that'll work, because I don't see it. Does anybody else see his? I'll tell you what. Let's see. I'll tell you what. Truck on the side, it should have a private chat button. I don't know if I can do this or not. Let me see if I can. I don't know if that'll do it or not. I don't know. But I say you could send it to there. I don't know, or you could send it to me. So why don't you do that? Truck, send me your email or send me a message, jdaysgarage@gmail.com. And then Denny, send me an email, jdaysgarage@gmail.com. I'll be the go-between, and I'll forward one to the other. And that way, you know, I'll forward one to the other, and then we can go from there. Okay. Paul's asking, what is my personal daily driver? Well, it's a little Ford Focus. That's my go-to scooter vehicle. And, you know, if I need to go somewhere, it gets 30 miles to the gallon without any effort. So that's what I usually run. Other than that, I use, if I'm going to be going to Lowe's or something like that, and hauling something long, I need to keep dry, I'll use my Suburban. Got like a 2008 Suburban. And then if I need to haul something big and heavy or tow a trailer or whatever, I'll use Franken truck and use that. So, yes, same to you, Sammy, and I guess Sammy and Lisa. You too, Leonard. And Joseph, mine with power steering, so I need to purchase manual steering center link. Thanks. Oh, so it was a power steering. Was it a boosted power steering, not a conversion? Is that what you're saying? Like it had that booster thing on it? Juan Carlos, how you doing? He says he wants a video of 55 Chevy stepside. Well, that would be nice. 9-foot box, two-wheel drive. Yeah, well, I've not seen any videos like that, and I don't plan to make one, but that would be an interesting project. That'd be a big truck. And we have Harvey checking in on break at work for a few minutes, like the Impala door seal video. Thank you. Thank you. You know, that's what I was going to talk about for just a minute. You know, in that video, I pointed out some things. I pointed out, you know, of course, how to install the seals, the pins, and all that stuff in that video. And I also pointed out, and I know at least one person was upset with it, that I said I'm not going to buy from Eckler's. And in that instance, you know, when I shared the pricing difference between Classic Industries and Eckler's, where Classic Industries was charging $24.99 for a seal, and Eckler's was charging, I think, 56 or something. 50, I think it was $56.99. I actually have the receipt right here. So when I was showing that comparison, and I said I'm not going to buy from Eckler's, well, that was legitimate. I mean, I don't have a problem with them. Yeah, actually $59.99. Okay, so the seal from, again, Classic Industries was $24.99. The exact same seal from Eckler's, let's just say $60. So 25 versus 60. And I know there was at least one person upset about that, because they're like, hey, you know, you got the seal. Well, yeah, I got the seal. But I pointed out in that video that if you have the time, order early so that you're not going to be overcharged for a seal or anything else. Do some research and do your homework. I would rather pay, and I'll say $25 for the seal versus $60 for the seal. something's out of sync there, because these are competing companies for our business. So if this guy's selling it for 25, is this guy just buying that seal from him for 25 and then doubling it to make money off of it? I don't know. That the numbers are so far off, more than double the cost between the two. And that's when I said that I wouldn't buy from Eckler's. Well, I'm not going to buy from Eckler's if they're going to charge me double the money. Even if I have to wait a month for parts or whatever, I'll do it. So just be ahead of the curve, though. If you're going to order stuff, do your research and find the one that is affordable to you, and buy it. And if it happens, if you're forced into buying from a company that's charging more money, well, you may not have any way around that. I'm just letting you know, because I just can't understand how that's logical. Now, I'll get emails every day from Eckler's and Rick's Camaro. I think it's the same company. Eckler's, they have their primary, and I think they branch into different names, but I don't know, maybe it's because they'll throw a discount code. If you buy from us, you'll save 25%. Well, is it 25% off of the same price that I was paying Classic, $24.99, or is it 25% off of 60? That's a big difference, because then it's still $45 with a 25% discount, and that's still $20 more than what I would pay through Classic. So I'm just trying to say, if somebody wants to get upset, that's fine. But it's reality. We all want to have the best price, and I was not happy with that idea that I'm being charged an excessive amount of money. Now, I could also see if Eckler said, "Hey, we have it. It's $40. Well, $15 extra. I got to pay it." I can see that, but not when it's more than double the price. That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, just want to get that out there. So do your research, find your parts, order early, and then not have to deal with high prices. Yes, Scott, by all means, thumbs up. I appreciate that. Leonard, OTC has a great transmission tool catalog for anyone who rebuilds their transmissions. Okay. Thank you, Leonard. And Brian, hello all, hope all are well. For me, I bought a new compressor Monday. It was broke on Tuesday. Uh-oh. That's not good. I'll give you a bell for getting a new compressor, but not a bell for Puma. Who makes that? I've never heard of Puma. Never heard of Puma brand. That's what Scott's asking. Never heard of them. So I don't know what that is. Anyway, the clock's ticking down. And like I said, we got to get packed up, get everything loaded in the van, get our dogs loaded up, and go to the lake. So again, I hope everybody is planning on having a happy and safe 4th of July. I hope there's not some crazy riots going on somewhere and all that crazy stuff. And like I said, be careful, be safe, enjoy your weekend, hang out with your families, and we'll be back here on Monday. I'll be doing another chat Monday night and at 7 o'clock. Other than that, I'll be working on, again, editing of the video for the 67 Cougar, and also working on getting parts installed on Brooklyn Pony. So be looking forward to that. And once again, yep, thank you, Harvey. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on Monday.